Shalom and Brocha. Let us go further in our study of the Tzav Vziruz, the next chapter, which speaks about the need for stimulation. It's a fascinating piece. The Rebbe opens up and says this: the human soul relishes sensation, not only if it is pleasant feeling, but for the very experience of being stimulated. Sooner sadness or some deep pain rather than boredom of non-stimulation. The Rebbe has taken the whole problem and put it into these few words. People need to be stimulated. Now let's just go slowly. We're living in times when many of our young are overstimulated. They're getting stuff from all sides and iPads and this and what is that all about? Why are phones so addictive? Because we can't be dormant. It's part of the DNA of a human being to thrive on stimulation. Ooh. If not, we fall into depressions. So the Rebbe is saying that this is the situation. This is the Metzias. You go drive along and you see a car crash. You're going to slow down. Why? Checking it out. What are you checking out? That's who we are. At the kitchen hut. Oh, wow. Something happened. Or take your children to a park and there's a roller coaster. Kids get on the roller coaster, goes up in the height, comes rushing down. Oi, vey! And the kids come up. Oh, I almost died. I felt so. Let me go again. You're going again. It just didn't. There it is. That's what we're talking about. When they first came out, way back when I was still a kid, 3D films. I never saw it, but this is what you wore these funny glasses, paper glasses, blue and red or whatever, and you watched and you looked up in the screen. So there was one film I remember. My next door neighbor was telling me he went with his daddy, and they went to see The Phantom of the Opera, which is obviously Phantom Opera must be a scary kind of a thing, right? Story. And he said, you know what happened? The Phantom, the Phantom, swung out on a rope into the audience. I felt it was on my lap. I almost died. I felt it. Did you enjoy the film? Oh, it was brilliant. Why? It's just so alive. Just so alive. We must seek. First of all, we have to accept that this is the Metzias. The neshama needs, the soul, the person needs to be stimulated. So now the question is, how are we going to stimulate the soul? So the Rebbe goes further. He says, people will watch distressing scenes, listen to heart-rending stories, just to get stimulation. It's like a fix. Such is human nature and a need of the soul, just like all other needs in nature. You need food, yes. You need sunshine, yes. You need clothing, yes. You need stimulation, yes. So he who's clever will fulfill this need for passion and for stimulation with davening, passionate Torah learning. But the soul who's davening, who's learning, is without any emotion, he's going to have to find his stimulation somewhere else. Now let's just think about this. We all go to shul, right? But if the shul is cold, and the stories are the stories you heard when you were a kid, and it didn't do you anything then, it's not going to do anything for you now. And you just sit there and you're going through the motions. Why do you think people, they go out, and the rabbi's about to give his drasha, guys are walking out the back door to get shikha, to have a whiskey kiddush club, because that gives them stimulation. They laugh, they have a joke. Never. Why? Because the drasha they know is not going to wake them up. It's not going to give them any enthusiasm about their Yiddishkeit. Hand, so today, as I speak to you, is the Yortzeit from the Bover Rebbe Ztz, the Reb Shloime, who I had the great schia to be very close to, and I was there for years. And it was in the old days when Chassidus was not yet as industrialized with thousands. It was a small oil. All the time I was in his proximity, wherever you were, whatever time of the year, it was cooking. The Baba Rebbe Shloime would put on tefillin, something we all do every day. He put on tefillin, and it was like the first time he ever wore tefillin. And you could see his face, his eyes were on fire. He's putting on tefillin. And it was throughout the day, whatever was happening. And I remember the dancings on it, the dancing, when he was dancing. Oh, Pirim, and it was as Shmona Esra from the body. It's just like poetry, highly good poetry. Oy. This was the Yiddishkeit that we were. This was what brought people to. How do you think Chassidus was built on this? Baal Shem Tov came along. There was a whole world of Yiddishkeit, yeshivas, Torah was being learned, but the Am Chayid were lost. Why? There was no stimulation. There was no bren. They didn't have the ability to be academic, if you will. So they came the Rebbes, came the Tzaddikim, Pshisk, cut with fire. All this captured within a short period of time. Ganz Poland gewon a Hasidic world. From where? Because people needed. We gave them stimulation. Unfortunately, now it's very difficult. Things are evolving, and for better or for worse. You know, we're in a special time, as man, if you will, in the Golas, where much of what Chassidus was has become established, and to such a point that it belongs. It's industrial. Yeah, we can drag bleaches, and it's all. You can't get too close to the Rebbe because we have 15 Gaborim in the way. We have to go back. So a Kliga Yid, a smart person, who knows that he needs stimulation, who doesn't want his stimulation to have to come from reading a book or watching something on the internet, or traveling places where you shouldn't be traveling. I feel I'm a Yid. I want to be a Yid. You must search out that place, that chabura that talks to you in the neshama, not because your next door neighbor is in the same chabura. That's the way we do things. We all no. You find the place, even though everyone else says, "No, what are you going there for?" I'm going there because it talks to my neshama. I need to be stimulated. I need to see this. I need my children to be excited about their Yiddishkeit. Not just so bored out of their heads that they're looking at their watches to get home. Oh, no, we can't go here. they daven 10 minutes too long. I have a lot to do. Like what? Read the magazine. Shabbos. Fine, isn't that? Does that work for you? Can you tell me you don't get depressed and you don't get saddened? Where does the sadness come from? Because the neshama needs stimulation, needs to be alive, and if not, it gets dull, it gets hurt, and it just feels broken. So the soul, if we don't give this neshama, this chizik, it will either be driven to cheap, says the Rebbe, even forbidden sensation, or will become emotionally ill from lack of stimulation. Emotionally ill from a lack of stimulation. So the default position of many people, sweet people who go to shul, is boredom. That's why we talk too much by davening. That's why we talk rubbish. Anything. But they have to daven because the davening is no longer speaking to you. You don't want to face the siddur. So you want to get it done quick. But if mazinkt. I was saying this earlier today. When I was a bocher, first time I went to Israel, I was learning in yeshiva in Baba, Bat Yam, the Rov of the Shtetl, the double Rov, Zeichel Tzadik Lebruche, of England. Davener, he was just on fire. And I remember one time people didn't. It was not nishmas. It was the shira, Shabbos shira, and he was so lost in his davening and his that he screamed out, "Oh, Zushi!" And he opened up his shirt. I missed it. I don't know if other people saw it because everyone was in their own place. I saw that. It stays with me. It lives with me. Oh, Zushi! Listen to this. That's you must see this at least. You must be in a place where you can hear this. A place that talks to you in the neshama, not what polite society tells you. The Aish is a helfen. So the schutz in unsere tzaddikim ze gaan bruchen. Der Baba beruft ze gaan bruchen. So seine Meile Schöne für the ganz Klal Yisrael. Ich bin Azisi, gut Azisi. Hat lieb gehabt. He gave you. He just gave. He was like a flowing ocean of giving. Let's just think these words over, and we'll come and visit the Rebbe again next week. We're in the 9 days. Let's work on just know who you are. We'll talk about it next week. And Psiras Tovus.